Hello goat lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats, and today we're going to give you an update on who's had their babies and who hasn't. Alright, so the first doe to kid this year was Lit Eye. She did give us 2 does. Unfortunately, one of the does passed. We had a bout with constipation and she just didn't make it. We did all we could and yeah, just kind of a bummer. But we do, this little girl here is healthy, gorgeous, and lovely, and she's quite the character, and she is going to Nebraska. All right, the next doe to kid was Dreamer. She had a little buckling and this beautiful, beautiful doe that was really, really hard for me to let go of. But the buckling, unfortunately, did not make it either. He was just really weak from birth and just kind of struggled. So he is another one that we actually lost. But this pretty, pretty girl here, again, I really wanted to keep her, but she is going to Washington State. Okay, so doe number 3 was Mayo, and she gave us these gorgeous, gorgeous 2 kids here. So Mr. Manly, Mr. Mayo is what we call him. He is just, he's definitely the biggest goat out there. He's a hoss, he's a beef. He's going to be a wonderful herd sire for somebody in Utah. And then this little doe here is mine. And I've just kind of been calling her mine. So I needed an M name, and I don't know, but for now, she's mine. Ain't that right? You're not going nowhere. The next doe is Lodi, and if you guys saw that video, you saw Derek helping this little dude out. He is a nibbler, aren't you? He just loves to nibble, nibble, nibble. Now this little guy here is going to be a wether. Something I do as soon as they're born and several times before they even leave is check for their teats to make sure that there's only 2 teats. Now this guy does not have an additional teat, but he has a little tiny bump next to his teat. And that's just not something, if you want to be a responsible breeder, you should absolutely never ever sell anything that potentially could have an extra teat. And he does right there. So I kept an eye on it. I wasn't real sure, and it's still there. Again, it's not an extra teat, but it's a bump next to the teat, and I'm just not gonna risk it. So this guy will just be somebody's pet, unfortunately, and he'll make a good pet. He's really sweet, aren't you? Yes. Hey guys, just wanted to drop in real quick and remind you guys that summer is right around the corner and you all need to stock up on some Blue Cactus soap to make sure that your skin is healthy and looking beautiful in the tank tops and shorts. So there are a couple soaps that I wanted to highlight today for you guys. This one is the first one. This here is called our Pollinator Bar. It is chock full of bee pollen, and if you guys look up the benefits to bee pollen, holy moly, it is amazing for your skin. It has just about every vitamin you could possibly think about. Of course, we have our favorite Ylang Ylang. Now this bar, it smells so, so heavenly. It has just the most aromatic floral scent that, oh my gosh, it's just absolutely beautiful. And to top that, the benefits to Ylang Ylang for your skin, even for wrinkles, it is wonderful. So this is a really, really great bar. The other bar I would like to highlight is our Patchouli Bar. Now this bar absolutely smells so earthy. It is just such a wonderful, wonderful smell. This is our Aloe and Cucumber Bar. Now, if you want a moisturizing bar, you guys, you cannot go wrong with this one. Of course, all of our soaps are super moisturizing, but with the aloe and the cucumber in this one, your skin is going to get so hydrated. Love, love, love this bar. All right, guys, so just wanted to jump in here and again remind you guys that you need to stock up on those Blue Cactus soaps. Your skin will thank you. So the link is in the description below, you guys. Head on over there to the shop and get yourself some soap. All right, so doe number 5 was Made It, and she had this little dude and one other little buckling. However, the other little buckling didn't make it. He was kind of the same scenario as Dreamer's little buckling, just super weak right from the get. So this little guy here is doing really great. He's super strong. He's really cool to watch. The white ones are just really neat, but he is gonna be a wether. Now, we didn't film Made It's labor, but it is on a community tab. It was just super late at night and we didn't get it filmed. Doe number 6 was Abilene. Now, this was buckling number 1. So she gave us 3 bucks and they are all really, really super nice. I'm really loving these bucks. But anyway, this little dude, if you guys saw the video, he was clogging up the canal there and not letting anybody else out. So we had to untangle him, and then everything else went great, huh? Ain't that right? But yeah, these 3 boys are doing really, really good. I have not sold them yet, but I have no doubt they will go to good homes. All right, so next doe was Dinky, who did amazing in her birth as a first timer. So she gave us this little buckling here and this sweet doe, this doe here is actually going to Mississippi. And this little dude, he was another one that had a bout with constipation. Constipation is kind of one of those silent killers. You really gotta know what you're looking at and see, and they get hunchy. But either way, he is a successful story because he is just doing amazing. He pulled through, and now he's super strong and good to go. But because of that situation, he was just a little bit weaker when he was a newborn, he is going to be a wether as well. Next up is Vogue, and now she gave us 1 doe and 1 buck, and they are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Especially this guy. He looks like a buffalo. I don't know, he's just the cutest little thing, aren't you? So this doe here has been sold to somebody in Arizona, so she is going to stay here in Arizona. And this little dude is going to be a good herd sire, but he hasn't been sold yet. Ain't that right? Now Vogue, she had her babies in the middle of the night, so you can see the pictures of her actually at the end of Dinky's labor video. Alright, so up next was my beautiful doe May, and she gave us this really stunning, adorable, handsome, very, very nice buckling. Now this buckling was supposed to be a doe for me, but that's okay. So this little guy is going to go to Illinois to be a wonderful herd sire for somebody, aren't you? So this was another late night labor that wasn't filmed, but we did do a community post on it. Okay, so doe number 10 was Bessie, who did amazing and gave us 2 beautiful, beautiful does. Now this girl here is also going to be staying here. She is, her name is Bonnie, is what I decided to name her, and she is just super, super adorable, super sweet, just like her mama, huh? And gorgeous. And then this little girl here is going to Nebraska, and she's actually going to Nebraska to chill with Lit Eye, or Lit Eye's doe. So they both go to the same home. All right, so the next doe was Wildy, who gave us quads, and all 4 of her babies are doing just really, really great. They're gorgeous. So that was buck number 1 that Darren is holding. He is growing, they're all growing really, really fast because they're crazy eaters. But anyway, he was buck number 1, and he is going to Tennessee. And then this little dude was number 2. He is still for sale. He's going to be a really good herd sire. And then this was buck number 3. And he is going to be weathered. He's just a little bit smaller. He's not quite as stout and gorgeous as these 2. So he will be weathered. It's okay, boy. It's okay. And then this is little Whisper. She is going to stay right here with me. And she is precious, aren't you? Yes. All right, this gorgeous boy here is from Daisy. So Daisy just had 1 huge buckling. This dude was huge, and she did it all on her own. It was another late night labor, and she did great. So we did do a community post on this one as well. And this little dude is going to Michigan. All right, and this pretty, pretty boy here is Birdie's boy. So she also just had 1 big, giant buckling, but she did really well with it too. And I believe you had an arm back or something, didn't you? Yes, he did. Of course he did. And this little dude is going to Georgia. All right, so then up next is Lily. Now, Lily I thought was going to have triplets this year, and she didn't. She just had another giant single buckling. Now this boy here is super, super nice. He is going to make an amazing herd sire. He's just got all of the good milk goat genetics back in him, and he's gorgeous. And he is going to Nebraska. Now is Maybelline. She had 1 buckling here and 1 doeling. Now he is polled and gorgeous. He's a really, really stunning buckling. This dude is going to Indiana, and then this little doe here is going to Nebraska. All right, and up next was Tippy, and just continuing with the theme of one huge single buckling, she gave us one huge single buckling. He is super, super pretty though. He's covered in moon spots, so he's gonna be an awesome herd sire for somebody in Mississippi. All right, so the next doe up was Elsa. Elsa gave us triplet bucklings, but this morning we came out and one of the bucklings was just under the A-frame, kind of lifeless and dead. So not quite sure what happened with that one because he was fine. I don't know if they piled up on him. I don't know, but either way, so things like that are hard, guys. It really sucks, but she does still have these two gorgeous boys. So this boy here is blue-eyed and cold. He is going
to Texas.
He is going to Texas. And then this boy here is going to be an awesome herd sire, but he's not sold just yet. So, but he was buck number 1, and he kind of tricked me. I thought maybe he was my Swiss doe, but he definitely is just a buckskin buck.
This is Maddie's polled buck who won't look at the camera. He was the first goat that I ever delivered. And he's a real cutie. I love his ears.
He's very cute. He's actually quite stunning. His body conformation is amazing, and he's polled, and I don't know how he hasn't sold yet, so he's gorgeous. So he is the last one that has been born so far this year. All right, so doe number 1, who we are still waiting on, is Cammie here. Now, Cammie, I had her due date as the 9th of April. Well, we're way past the 9th, and actually, so tomorrow is the 29th, so it's about every 19 to 21 days for a heat cycle. So her next due date from the 9th would be the 29th, so potentially, and since we separated January 1st, her very last date that her very last possible due date is May 26th. So she's just playing games with me this year. She kind of played games with me last year, but not like this. So she is with my silent breeder buck, champ. So I just kind of have to go off of muck buck and don't get to actually see the deed being done. So that's where we're at. She's giant. Her babies are still moving around. You know, she's bagging up pretty good, and it's got to be any day now with this girl. Any day, huh, girl? All right, doe number 2 we are waiting on is Little Bit here, and she is also playing games with me, just like Cammie's doing to me this year. So I had Little Bit's due date written down as the 11th of April. So again, way past that, but she's had squishy ligaments for over a month. So it's just, she's really been playing mind games with me, but she's right where she's supposed to be. I just had her due date wrong as well, because again, she was in with Champ also. But the babies are moving, she's bagging up. So just keeping a close eye on her, huh? So she's not had babies yet either. All right, doe number 3 is my pretty Cassie here. Now, her due date is the 20th, so she's still good, because due dates, I always calculate it at 145 days, but it is 145 to 155 days, and you're good to go. So she is gonna be a little bit later, so I'm thinking she's gonna go on the 30th. Her and her mama Cammie will probably go hopefully tomorrow on the same day. Cross fingers. You're scratching your bum on me, girl. But she's getting pretty big too, so, and she's starting to bag up. And she's wanting a lot more attention lately, huh? Yes. Soon. All right, so unfortunately, Dawn did not get pregnant this go round. So those of you who watch the channel have probably know that she was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma, a form of skin cancer on her tail. So that was a couple years ago, and the vet then told us it could be 2 months that she could survive or 5 years. And anyway, it is going to begin to get internally spread internally, the vet said eventually, and I do believe that is what's going on in her case. She's never had an issue getting bred before, and the cancer is getting pretty bad on her tail head. So Dawn has been extremely sluggish lately, slow to get up. You can just tell she's not her normal self. She isn't feeling very well. And this is something we knew would happen eventually. So at this point, she's still okay, but I'm not going to continue to watch her suffer. It's going to be time to put her down, unfortunately. All right, you guys, so those are all the babies, and yes, we have had some losses this year, but that's something that kind of happens every year. It's not ideal. It's not something that's fun that I like to deal with at all. It hurts. But again, if you're breeding this many animals, then you're not going to have 100% perfection all the time. So other than that, we have really healthy crop of kids this year. They're beautiful. All the does did really well, and we are just waiting on 3 more does. So can't wait to finally have those does have their babies. And other than that, you guys, we got lots of stuff going on and coming up, so we will be seeing you again soon.